I'm doing another test knit. I have no self-control. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Birch and Lily, where I talk about all sorts of crafty, fun stuff that I have been up to. Today is episode 126. I have lots of fun stuff to show you today, some finished objects, some works in progress, a giveaway winner, and some fun stuff that I've added into the shop as well. Before we jump on into that, there are some places that you can find me on the internet. The main one is birchandlilyfiber.com. You can find everything else down in the description as well. My Instagram, Ravelry, Patreon, all of that fun stuff is down in the description, as well as everything that I talk about this episode. So let's quickly talk about giveaway winner. Leanne Lang, I drew your name for the winner of last episode's giveaway. If you could please contact me at my email down below in the description, I will let you pick out your skeins and get that prize out to you. As well, I definitely wanted to tell you all to check out the shop. I have added some new fun stuff into the shop. I have added, I know we had talked about this a few episodes ago, undyed birch Surrey at a discounted rate. That is available in the shop now, as well as I've started to stock some stitch stoppers. I'll show you a couple of them throughout the episode. I think I might have them, at least the ones I have in stock. Sorry, I might have them on a project or two. Yes, here's a really good example. So these are available in the shop, little stitch stoppers so that your stitches don't fall off of your project when they're in your project bag. So these ones are available in the shop right now. So I just wanted to rush through all those announcements really quickly so we can get into all of the fun stuff, because I know you're not here for announcements. You're here to see what I've been working on. Obviously, I am wearing a finished object that I'm so pleased to have finished. This is my downtown hoodie, a pattern that I'm testing for Tori U. I think the pattern is going to be available the first week of March, somewhere in there. So very, very soon. But I will stand up so you can get a better view of it. Honestly, I think this may have already won the spot of favorite knit of the year. This hoodie fits me so well. I love the sleeve length. You know, I've always been one to not knit my sleeves too long because I'm worried that they're gonna drive me nuts. But I love this because they're tight enough in the wrist that they stay up, but at the same time, I can still pull them down and be cozy if I want to. So yeah, everything about this. I made this drawstring, I made the hood. Just wait till you see the details on the inside of the hood. I'll have to show you that when I get closer. But anyways, this is my downtown hoodie. So I knit the size 3 for this. And I ended up using, I think, 5 skeins of the main color and 1 of the contrast color. This is all knit in Birch DK, which is my 100% superwash merino base. And yeah, I am really happy with the feel of it, the gauge of it. Oh my gosh, this ease is perfect. I have taken so many measurements of this sweater so that I know like what ease I like, because this is exactly the ease I want on every sweater that I knit. Yeah. And oh my gosh, look at how neat that underarm pickup is too. I've never knit something so wonderful. I've knit wonderful things, but this I think I am the most proud of. So as you can see too, it has a hood. Yeah, okay. I think you've seen enough of me standing up with it. Let's get into some more close-up details. So I really, really love the bind off on this. I hope you can see, yeah, how it kind of has that really cool border, like knit border. I don't know how else to describe it. The pattern doesn't specifically call it any like special bind off, but it just gives that really neat edge. So that is on both the cuffs and the hem of the body as well. This I-cord drawstring totally works, which is so cool. And obviously there's a hood, which also works. And I think it's the perfect size. I'm pretty pleased with this. The hood is almost knit. Hello, train. The hood almost reminds me of like an afterthought heel, or not an afterthought, a short row heel in a way. but it looks really cute up too. I think it's the perfect size. So I did go through, the pattern calls for you to whip stitch down the whole drawstring on the inside of the hood. And I am so pleased with how neat that looks. I feel like it looks professionally done. I'm sure there's people out there who have done it better, but I'm pretty pleased with that as well. And like I said, I knit this I-cord. I did end up knotting mine off on both ends just so it doesn't fall out. I don't know if the pattern specifically called for that, but I do think in the model photo we were given that they were tied off, and I kind of just like that look as well. So did I say the colors of this? I'm so excited about how it looks. I don't think I said the colors. Also, I kind of like how the hood looks up. But this main color here is called Graphite, and the contrast color is called Jarrahdale. Jarrahdale is, I don't know if it's in the shop on DK, but I do think, I guess I'll preface this with, I do think I'm going to put up a pre-order in the shop probably in the next week or two. Yeah. Probably in the next week or two, for kits for the colors I used for mine. And if you do want to substitute out the contrast color for something else, I will happily do that. But I really think the Graphite looks great with this sweater. So yeah, I'm going all over the map with this one, I swear. What was I saying? I don't know. I'm so happy with it. I just think it's so cute. The fit is perfect. This is my style. I think that's what's fun about it too, because I knit a lot of sweaters that are fancier pullover sweaters, but I am just like a hoodie person at heart, or like a real nice baggy v-neck shirt that I can wear with leggings. So this just feels so unbelievably like me. I kind of want to knit another one in some other colors. But yeah, it's so cute. So yeah, I will make sure I make an announcement when I have pre-orders up for kits for this pattern on both Instagram, and I'll try and make sure I do it on the community tab here on YouTube. But I'm going to be having an update just of a whole bunch of new colors as it is, which you're going to see most of them actually. There's a few more, but you'll see quite a few of them in projects that I'm working on today, just because I like to knit them up before I put them in the shop, and doing a garment or a project is a lot more fun than just knitting a swatch. So I am going to be having an update, I think probably within the next couple weeks, kind of somewhere at the beginning of March. I'm just finishing up a couple things and finalizing a couple colorways, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be having weekly uploads now, so I should be able to keep you all updated here on YouTube, because I know some of you don't have Instagram, though if you really want to see what I'm doing all the time, I am the most active on my Instagram account. Okay, so I think that's everything about this downtown hoodie. I'm sure you can tell how overjoyed I am with this. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, like even, I didn't show this, the front. Look how this, I hope you can see how this overlaps here. Like, there's just all the details about this I feel are so polished and like well thought out, and it just fits me perfectly. Yeah. Favorite project of the year. Maybe something will top it, but I kind of think it's going to be hard to top it. So yeah, make sure you keep an eye on Tori her accounts on both Ravelry and Instagram. The other finished object I have, I don't think I've had a pair of finished socks in a very long time, but I finished a pair of socks. These are my Stronger Than the Storm socks. This pattern is by Emma Janet of Bloom and Create. It is the sweetest little colorwork pattern. I think that's why I had so much fun with them, because the colorwork portions just always fly so quickly off my needles. These are a little bit damp still. I just finished them last night, so I'll have to put them back on my sock blockers after I'm done talking, but I don't know why this one feels so much longer all of a sudden. That's weird. I think it's just because they're a little wet and they're not on the blockers. Anyways, so yeah, beautiful color work there. Just a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and then the pretty color work as well on the toes. So I just used a sock set for these. I used Woolberry Fiber Co. It was one of her Anne of Green Gables club sock sets called Anne Shirley. And on the topic of colorwork socks that use or are able to be used with a sock set, after I record this video, I'm going to be recording next week's video, which is going to be another kind of like the video I put up last week, going through a whole bunch of patterns that I think are gorgeous for a certain theme. This theme is going to be colorwork socks that can be knit with a sock set. So with a main skein that's about 100 or 50 grams, depending on the size of your foot, and then a mini skein. And I have also pulled a couple patterns that use the main skein and then 2 mini skeins as well. But I will be recording that video after this, and it will be going up next week on the channel. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I just think these are beautiful. I knit the 60 stitch size. And now that I've been knitting socks on the 2mm US 0 needles, I've been way happier with the gauge. I've been wearing some of my socks lately. Believe it or not, I've been too chicken to wear socks that I've knit, and they've all been sitting in a bin and I've never touched them because I was always afraid that I would wreck them. But that's what socks are for, and I need to wear them. So I've been pulling out all those socks and wearing them over the past like couple weeks, and I have noticed that when I knit the socks with a 2.25mm needle, the gauge is too loose, and they stretch out a little bit too easy, and they're almost see-through in a way, like you can see in between the stitches a bit too much. So I'm way happier with how the gauge is on the 2mm US 0 needles, at least for my gauge. So I'm going to continue doing that. But I have the whole collection of Anne of Green Gables sock sets from Woolberry Fiber Co. So I think I'm going to knit them all with colorwork patterns is kind of my thought. We'll see how that goes. But these are done, and I'm really, really excited to kind of be back on the sock train. And I'm gonna stick these back on blockers since they're still damp. So we know how I've been about the test knitting lately. I'm testing another pattern for Ozetta. She is definitely one of my favorite designers by far. And I am knitting this out of one of the colorways that will be available in the next shop update. So unfortunately, this is kind of smooshed on some tiny needles. But this is the Seaway pullover. So very different to stuff that Ozetta has usually put out because it has cables, but they're different as well cable-wise. So many different things apparently. But it's unique because there's no purl stitches to separate the cables. So you kind of just get this really cool, like wavy looking texture almost. I really, really like it. So it's a drop shoulder construction. Got really beautiful back seams here on the shoulders, and I have connected the front and the back, and now I'm just working in the round. But yeah, like I said, this colorway is a new one that will be in the shop soon. It's called Petrichor, and it's a really, really pretty, it's showing actually not half bad on the screen. It's maybe a little bit more sagey, but it's like a beautiful sagey gray. That's even worse. Yeah, back here is probably the most accurate I can get it. Beautiful sagey gray color that I'm really, really pleased with. I dyed it up with the sweater in mind and then knew it was something that I would want to add to the shop as well. So yeah, like I said, I've joined the body. I've got my sleeve holes here. I am using my absolute favorite row counting tool, which is Tangled. This is how I count, if I can get it untangled, this is how I count all my rows when I'm knitting. I particularly like it when I'm doing sleeves and there's like decreases that I need to do and stuff. But these are from Twice Sheared Sheep. And so you just, every time you come to them, you move it down one little loop, and it keeps track of the rows for you. I used to use a row counter on my phone, but I also want to use my phone. So then I found it really annoying to be flipping back and forth between stuff. So this was a really, really fun way, and I think really practical way for me to be able to count rows. So I will have that link down below in the description. I am, to be 100% honest, an affiliate, so I do get a small commission if you purchase with my link. I do appreciate that very, very much though, but I would not lie to you. I love these. I'm not just saying that I like them because they were sent to me. I love them. I bought 2 or 3 more myself. So that is where I am with the Seaway pullover. I chose a size for this, so I'm going to end up with about the same positive ease as my downtown hoodie, which I'm really excited about. It looks a little small right now because, like I said, it's smushed on itty bitty needles. I think I have it on 32-inch cables, and I should probably have it on 40s, but I didn't have any available, so 32s it is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing this. It's got, I think the pattern calls for another high neck turtleneck type thing. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk to Ozetta and see if it's okay for me to either fold over the neck or just do it to half the length, because we know how that looked on my port sweater on me. It was ridiculous. And then it's got a nice, really long 1x1 rib on the hem and the cuffs of the sleeves. So yeah, excited to be testing this. And I think I have to have it done by March 15th. So I feel like it's going to be out probably the middle of March. I also pulled out and worked on my Amara sweater a little bit, and I am caught up, or past now rather, where I had ripped it out before. So that's exciting. I'm kind of back where I was before I decided I was knitting the wrong size and tore the whole thing out. So I'm happy about that. I have it in my good old faithful Brooklyn haberdashery bag. And I am knitting this. Did I say? Yes, I said it's the Amara sweater. It's a pattern by Rachel Kurihara. And I am knitting it out of Explore Knits and Fibers on their Rocky DK base in the colorway Fidah. So it's a really pretty creamy base with like almost grays and blues and purples running throughout it. Maybe a little bit of green. They're all really grayed out tones. Of course, my camera's kind of blowing it out, but so much fun. I obviously have to pay a lot of attention to this. It's very cabley, and all of this here, this is all brioche, so I have to pay attention to the brioche as well. I'm loving it. I'm glad I didn't just give up when I realized I was knitting the wrong size. One thing I have noticed though, I don't know if you can see this. Do you see? And I think it's going to be fixable once it's blocked, but because of the way brioche is knit, you're only knitting like half the rows of brioche, I guess technically, that you are of the cables. So it's pulling up and it looks shorter. But I'm pretty sure when I block it, brioche is really stretchy and I'll be able to pull it down, and it's hard to do with only 2 hands, but be able to pull it down and match. So I'm not terribly concerned about that, but I did want to mention that I noticed that happening if you end up knitting the pattern and you're like, what in the world is going on? I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. And I also think, I don't think it has to do with my yarn choice. The pattern, I believe, calls for 3 strands of mohair held together, which I think they say comes out to about a worsted gauge, but I was able to get a gauge I was happy with and a fabric I was happy with the DK, so I don't think that has anything to do. It shouldn't, because it would do the same thing even if I wasn't knitting it with the DK. But anyways, that's just something I've noticed. But something else I really love about this pattern, instead of having a split hem on both sides of the body, it has a split hem in the back that connects into the cable, which I just think looks, there we go, which I just think looks so neat. So, I don't know, something a little bit different. I really don't have any projects or any garments that I've knit that are this cabley. So it's definitely a labor of love, but I really, really like how it looks. So I don't know if I said what size I'm knitting. I'm doing the size 4. Did I say what I was knitting for the Seaway pullover? I don't know. I'm knitting a size 2 for that one. I will say the pattern doesn't have a ton of sizes, which is not like Ozetta. I don't know if it has something to do with the cables and she had a hard time grading it, but smaller amount of sizes than normal, which is weird. Anyways, back to the Amara. I'm knitting a size 4. So I had originally cast on for a size 3, and I think just my cable gauge is really tight. I knit cables quite tightly. So I just decided I would go up to a size 4 and kind of compensate for that in that way, just because there's so many cables. Like with the Seaway pullover, the cables are spread enough apart that it doesn't really change my gauge at all. But with this sucker, like, there's a lot of cables and there's bobbles, and gosh, I'm having a hard time figuring out which way everything moves in the camera frame today. There's bobbles, there's cables, there's everything. So it was just messing with my gauge a little bit, I think. And then bobbles, I have a tutorial on the channel, but I might refilm it just because I've got better filming equipment now. But I'm using crochet bobbles. I just prefer the way they look. I don't like how my knit bobbles look, and they always, no matter what trick I use, sink in the fabric and just look crummy. So yeah. Oh, I do have a progress keeper on this. I'm gonna get better at that again. So I really haven't knit that much, but keep in mind, it's probably double that because the brioche is kind of tight or pulling in that direction. But yeah, maybe I'll put, since I'm gonna move my progress keeper up now so I don't forget, I'm gonna put it in the middle of the cables just so it's a little bit easier to tell how much I've done next episode or the next time I show it. This progress keeper is from Hello Lavender. There we go. And I just thought it fit with the theme of my sweater quite well. So yeah, that is my Amara sweater. These stitch stoppers were out of stock. I couldn't get a hold of this pattern, but I do have some other really cute floral circle ones like this in the shop right now. But yeah, more pretty sweaters. Everything I worked on this week is a garment. Well, no, I guess I finished the socks, but everything is garment minus the socks and my Musselburgh hat, which I will be showing you later in the episode. I also whacked myself in the nose. That was fun. Didn't hurt. We're all good. So yeah, Amara sweater, loving that. I'm doing another test knit. I have no self-control. This is a Birch Grove bag. This one I am testing for Sarah Opie, and it is called the Laneway sweater. And I justified knitting it because it's color work and it's something different than the Seaway pullover. So Laneway sweater by Sarah Opie. This is a yoked sweater. So I am, gosh, where is the front of this? So I'm just working in circles around, and we'll eventually split for the sleeves. I have a decent amount done actually. I've been working more on the Seaway pullover because it's due sooner than this one. I don't think this one's due until April, beginning of April. But I'm loving the color work, and it's really simple. You're only doing color work on the vertical stripes. The horizontal ones, you're just holding one color at a time as you knit them. I'm still holding this crooked. There, that's centered. But yeah, I like that. There's like a little bit of a break from the color work every once in a while. So I am knitting the size 4 for this. There are so many options in this pattern. There's sizes. There's also different sizes for the depth of your yoke. So you can decide how long you want it this way as well. And there are 2 sleeve length options and 2 color work options, I think. Yes. So many options for this garment, which, knowing Sarah's patterns, does not surprise me in the slightest. She is very, very good at having like a plethora of options. So yeah, beautiful. And these are 2 more colorways that will be available in the shop update when I decide when that's going to be. This tonal here, this really pretty mauvey color, is called Serendipity. And then the pretty speckled color, which, let's see if I can hold this in a way you can kind of tell what's going on with it. It's like a really pale grayish mauve with green and mauve and purple and all sorts of fun speckles. And that is called Euphoria. So yeah, not tons, but I'm having fun with it. Like I said, most of my attention is on the Seaway, so I can get that done in time. But I have pulled this out once in a while just for fun. So really, really cute. I love the neck on it. I don't know if you can see, there's like a pearl row that transitions into the rest of the sweater. I think that's really thoughtful and pretty. And there are increases hidden in that, which is kind of nice. The increases, I'm sure you can tell just looking at this. You can't tell where the increases are. She's hidden them really, really well. Losing my project bag, sorry, within the color work. So it's really hard to tell where they are, which I also appreciate. So yeah, really, really beautiful pattern. And I'm gonna keep working on it, obviously, because it's a test knit and I have a deadline. I think I love test knits because there's a deadline. And it kind of keeps me from casting too many things on at once because I know I have to get stuff done in time so I can get them photographed and stuff. And yeah, I think that's why I like having a timeline. So that's my Laneway sweater. And like I said, I'm also going to show you my Musselburgh. I've done a little bit on this. This project just stays in my backpack. And when I'm somewhere and I want to knit, I pull it out and I knit on it. So another Hello Lavender Progress Keeper, which kind of blends into the project, unfortunately, but that's how much I've done. Maybe inch and a half on my Musselburgh. And I'm knitting this out of some Explorer Knits and Fibers on an expired base they used to carry called Teton sock. It was a 75-25. And this colorway is called Uncompahgre Engagement. So not tons. How much do I have left of the skein? I haven't weighed this in a while, but there's a decent amount left of it. So pretty. So yeah, that should continue to keep me busy for my on-the-go knitting because I just need something simple, kicking around, nothing crazy. Did I say this is Woolberry Fiber Co? It came with one of their Christmas boxes or December boxes. I don't know if it's available in the shop still. It might be if you're a collective member, but cute little, very squishy bag. Easy to shove in a backpack, so I like that. Anyways, that is all I have to talk about this episode. Yeah, I think I'm slowly becoming a sweater knitter, but ooh, I could show you the next sock set I'm casting on. When I received all of these Anne of Green Gables sock sets, I made sure to write the month I received them on the back so I can knit them in order. So this is going to be the next sock I cast on, so I'll have to pick some pretty color work to do with it. This is called Lake of Shining Waters. So yeah, maybe I'll pick something from my Colorwork Socks video that's coming next week. We'll see. But yeah, that is all I have to talk about. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It helps the channel out a lot. Make sure you check out all the new stuff that's available in the website as well. And I will see you again next week for the Colorwork Socks video and in 2 weeks for a new podcast episode. Bye.